Greetings, everyone. Good to see you again. I know we have had a little time in between our last program, our last episode. Um, just a warning: use your sunscreen. That's why I was gone because I had a little, skin thing to take care of. But nonetheless, without further ado, this is Carlucci Broadcast International. You're watching, catching up the scoop on the bottom line. Mike Carlucci, Richard Boddie. Great to have you aboard again. You're looking good and fit and trim as always, and it's good to have you here.
It's all in the genes, man. Black
That's
don't
right.
crack.
Bum. Speaking of which, we got to get out and do some stand-up here pretty soon. Anyway, we're going to jump into, we got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to have a bunch of different segments, so make sure you watch, and please do subscribe and make comments. That's the best way to do it. A lot of people have been doing it, but we need more. So anyway, we're going to jump into this because as we record here from the Carlucci Broadcast International Studios, we just heard Bryce Harper, formerly of the Washington Nationals, just signed a big deal. Well, what's his name? Manny Machado got a big one, 10 years for $300 million with the Padres, and now we're checking out here. He had three choices. It was either the Giants, the Dodgers, the Phillies. The Phillies were kind of always in there from the start. Well, they just gave him a 13-year deal, $330 million bones.
His stats in Philly and that stadium, though, were the best stats of any of the options. Yeah. And even a bad agent would figure that one out and say, Bryce, you can get famous if you're playing for this club.
Yeah.
Because they're
loaded. They got McCutcheon now. They just got that young catcher. Everybody was trying to make a deal. Real Muto from the Marlins. They got a couple of young pitching prospects. They already have that one guy. Is it Nola?
Yeah.
He's a fireballer. I mean, and they got. I think they got a decent closer. I'm just trying to think of the whole because remember they were kind of rebuilding and nobody. They needed a program. Who's who on the Phillies? I don't know. But now they got all these really good components.
Yeah, they rebuilt. Off the radar.
Right.
And it's really neat.
And the National League East Division now is going to be a tight one. They got the Braves who kind of re-upped, and then the Mets have kind of done a little bit. But and then who was let's see, it was, of course, the Nationals there. So that's going to be a really tough division. I think only the Marlins will be way in the basement. That's going to be a fun division in the National League. And, of course, the West Division, we thought if the Giants would have got Bryce Harper, they would have kind of tooled up, maybe take a couple more steps into the standings there. And the Padres definitely have taken some steps up because they have got a lot of great young talent on that roster now with Machado there. And, of course, Dodgers always are loaded with their farm system. And Dodgers have too many outfielders. They had to get rid of two of them. I think they sent Puig and Kemp to Cincinnati. So it's going to be an interesting baseball season coming up here in the National League. Of course, Central Division's tight with the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Cardinals, and the Reds now. The Pirates, you can't forget about them. So that's going to be kind of wild.
It's going to be good.
But let's talk about your league because I know, as you can tell, I'm a Giants fan, and I was hoping for Bryce Harper, but I think probably financially maybe not a good move at this time. Maybe if they were good like they were 3-4 years ago when they won the 3 World Series, maybe add Bryce Harper to the team, to the mix. But now that they're in a rebuild mode, it would be too much of a quick fix that wouldn't work. He's going to a team that they could win like tomorrow, win that World Series possibly. So my Giants just have to keep rebuilding. But your Yankees are always prime and ready to go, and I know you're excited.
I wanted them to get Manny
Machado,
though. Yeah. I was hoping they'd get him for third base.
Yeah.
And they even got fined last year when Aaron Judge just said to Machado in passing, "Man, it'd be great to have you on the team next year." And they said, "Oh, that's tampering. We're going to fine you."
Yeah. But they got. I guess there's such thing as too much talent because they got outfield. They just gave Aaron Hicks.
They gave him an extension,
7 years, $70 million. I think. No, they gave him $7 million years. So 7 years for $49 million, something like that. And then they got, of course, they got Stanton. They have Judge. I think they're going to keep the kid over there first base. Who's the Bird? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Bird? Yeah. They're going to hold on to him. Yeah. And then of course they got Didi Gregorius is out for a bit, right? He's still kind of.
They're waiting for him. Yeah, waiting for him to get through with the elbow surgery.
Elbow thing. That's why they got Tulowitzki to fill in for him. So yeah, they're loaded. Pitching looks good. So and of course them in Boston will go head to head as usual. Red Sox are the returning world champions, World Series champions. Let's see who else is in that division. That's kind of well. I know Toronto. I think in a couple of years Toronto's going to be because they got that what's his name, Vladdy Guerrero's kid.
Oh yeah.
And they got somebody else's kid on that team, a big star player. His kid's on that team, and the farm system were good.
But they're still sleeping though.
Yeah. They're away a couple of years maybe.
Cleveland is still in the Central.
Yeah, in the Central. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else might be a sneaky coming up in the American League. Oakland looked good last year.
Yeah, they did. They kind of surprised a lot of people.
Oakland looked good.
Yeah. So they might give Houston, a little run for the money.
Houston, I saw a crack in Houston. I'm not sure what happened or who it was, but I was reading a couple days ago. I said, "Ooh, wow, they might not be able to repeat like they have because there's somebody left or
missing.
something. Yeah, something happened.
Somebody left the lid off.
Exactly. Yeah,
or loosened the cap,
Right.
I guess. Yeah, because they were pretty strong and powerful last year.
Yeah.
They added a couple new components, but then they lost a couple guys,
Yeah.
and then Marwin Gonzalez just signed a deal with the Twins. I was going to say, what do you think about the Twins? They will give Cleveland a little bit of
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And
Yeah.
I just once again I'm thinking of the other National League,
Yeah.
how Milwaukee came right up to the brink there.
Yeah, just some bad decisions there late in the game against the Dodgers in that championship series.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could have been the World Series, and
We won't quite say out loud your Dodgers position.
Yes. Giants are bust. Anybody but the Dodgers, right?
In fact, Bruce is retiring after this season.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy.
He said, oh, it's been real, and we
Yeah.
had bad times in San Diego, and then we had good times here in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But it's marginal now, and I think I'm too old to put up with this.
Yeah.
And it's always like the politicians say, and I'm leaving because of family concerns. Or
Right.
they don't say concerns, they say for the
Obligations?
for the good of the family or something like that.
Well, he's Bochy, Bruce Bochy is setting the table for the next guy. And there's a guy, speaking of which, there's a guy I'd like to see him get that position because he's been a really great hitting coach for him for many years. He's now a bench coach. He's kind of overseeing what's going on with Bochy's, how his mode and how he puts things together. He puts a strategy together in a daily regime. I'd like to see Hensley Mullins, who came in the Yankees farm system, played for the Padres for a little bit. Had more than a couple of pots of coffee there in the National League. Both American and National League. But he played in Japan. But he also is the manager for Team Netherlands.
Yes.
And he's made a mark on that. He's done a great job putting that team together. And they're always a contender, and they're always tough in it'd be a world premier baseball tournament of some sort, or in the World Baseball Classic. And of course, the Olympics are coming up in 2020, and he'll be running that team again. But I think he might be in line to get that Bruce Bochy's job. I think there's a lot of writers up in the San Francisco area like him. So
you know who came from that Netherlands team? Didi Gregorius.
Didi Gregorius.
Bryce came from that team.
Yeah, even Andrew Jones was playing. Even though Andrew's retired from Major League Baseball, pro baseball, but he went to the amateur status and he played in the last World Baseball Classic for Team Netherlands.
Parents are from Dutch colonies in the West Indies.
Yeah,
and that's where this whole thing comes from.
And Hanley Jansen, I just reminded myself. Jansen will be playing on Team Netherlands as well. So, but anyway, no, he'd be a front runner to take over for Bochy. But who knows? They're going to interview a lot of people, I'm sure, and to see what's going on for 2020. Obviously, Bochy's got his last year. He wants to make it a good one, and Giants will play their hearts out. They're kind of a little rebuilding mode and a little shorthanded with some veterans and stuff like that. But so going back to the American League, so you said Central Cleveland will be on top. Minnesota maybe itch him a little bit and scratch him. Yes. We know about the American League East, Red Sox, Yankees,
and Oakland and Houston
battling it out. Angels might kind of play some spoiler.
Yeah,
I just don't see Texas or Seattle. Seattle was kind of up there last year, breaking some hearts there, but they got rid of a lot of guys, and they're back in rebuild mode. It seems. Yeah.
They said, what's his name? The ex-Yankee, their second baseman.
Cano.
Robinson back
Cano.
to New York City.
Back to the Mets.
But he's to the Mets.
Yeah.
He's wearing the right colors, but he's in the wrong team.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a blue and orange guy. I'm a Syracuse and Bucknell University. I can't help myself. It's in the orange and the blue are in my blood.
I remember when I first met you when Bucknell was making some storms there and during the college basketball tournament.
Indeed.
That's how we met. Right. We started talking about
That's right. They got the
blue and orange.
Got the upset of the year in 2005 or so.
Yeah.
The biggest upset that year. Yeah, that was great. They beat Kansas in the first round. Kansas was a number 3 seed, and they were 14.
Yeah,
and it took
knocked them off.
And almost won in the next round against, I think it was Wisconsin. They lost. They were leading with 2 minutes to go, and they lost by 2.
Heck of a broadcast too. I remember watching the game. It was incredible. So anyway, Bryce Harper. Probably tomorrow, the next day, he'll have his little, what do you call it? His little press conference and talk about that 13-year deal. So he's 26. So yeah, it'll take him all the way till the end of his, And the Phillies, Philadelphia must be super happy right now. They're going to be pounding things. They got a
great sports town, I must say.
Tough sports town too. Philly, it's tough. Yeah, you better. So we'll see what happens. We'll get more details about that. But so we kind of cover what's going on. We kind of give a little mini preview of what's going to go on in the 2019 season in a capsuled format here. To your Yankees will be knocking on the door. My Giants will be hoping to stay out of the cellar and just play spoiler. But yeah, you never know. Stranger things have happened. So my prediction, though, World Series, I'm going to say I don't think the Dodgers are going to get back in it. I think it's going to be Milwaukee or Philadelphia against either Boston or the Yankees.
Yep.
I think, like you mentioned earlier about Houston, I think they're a tough team. They're tight. They're a great team, but I think they're going to get knocked out if they get the championship series. They lost something. They still got Verlander. They got a couple of their. They're still missing a couple of headstone tough pitchers, and they got one guy, McCullers. I think he's going in for Tommy John surgery. So
I like them when I watch them.
But they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Yeah,
they're fun to watch. It's a good town too. Houston's a great town.
They were under the formula where the ownership said we're going to try a different way, and that's the same method that it looks like Derek Jeter's trying to do too. Mm-hmm. Certain things you do with a team that's no good, and you start a process. Obviously, it involves your farm teams. Mm-hmm. Those that have good farm teams usually do quite well when it comes near the end.
Yeah,
I remember year before last when the AAA World Series was between the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, which is the Yankees AAA team, who had 13 guys who had gone up and back in that year to the Yankees, against the El Paso Chihuahuas or something.
Yeah, I think it is Chihuahuas. Yeah.
And it came out in the 7th game series. Mm-hmm. I said, watch the Yankees next year, which was last year. Mm-hmm. But their farm system is the key, and that's what the Angels seem to not be able to develop. Yeah,
they've drained it, and the Giants drained theirs. Yes. They used to have a really top team, farm system there, late 90s, early 2000s, middle 2000s, which helped them get to the World Series for 3 times of winning it. But the Angels, it seems like ever since they won that World Series in 2002, they just kind of been... And they've had some bad luck with injuries, and of course, one of the pitchers, is it Edenhart, who got in a terrible car accident and passed away, and they've had some bad luck. And the Angels, just talking about them, they got a new manager now, too. Brad Osmus took over for Mike Scioscia, who was there for, almost 20-something years. So it'll be interesting to see what the Angels put together, and maybe they can brew something up, kind of begin something now this year, and then push it for 2020 to be a tough
Mike Trout's keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Trout's 2 favorite baseball teams are?
Phillies and Orioles.
Phillies and the Yankees.
I thought it was the Orioles.
He grew up watching the Yankees.
Oh, somebody told me he was an Oriole fan too, but I know Phillies #1, so it must be Yankees. Yeah, okay, I know he's.
So you mentioned Bryce Harper and Mike Trout on the same team. That wouldn't work. They'd have to outlaw. They would have to pass a law.
Yankees would stop that. They find a way to bring him in. So nonetheless, Mr. Boddie, we've just delved into the scoop from the bottom line, and we're out for now. We're going to come back soon and talk a little politics here on the next segment. Again, Richard, thank you, and you be well.
A pleasure.
Be well, my friend. Have some more pasta there.
There's my vintage.
Yeah, your vintage shirt. I love that.
1938.
1938, the best year ever. Right?
Hey, you bet. That's the one I got here.
That's right, kid. So anyway, everyone out there, remember, until next week, remember to search and dig deep, and you'll find the bottom line. Okay, and we'll always get the scoop for you on that matter. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.